We're in the home stretch of the 2023 Texas high school football regular season, and the biggest games yet are on tap. These are the picks. Welcome into the Picks, your guide to the Texas high school football weekend. My name is Greg Tepper of Dave Campbell's Texas Football and TexasFootball.com. Thank you so much for tuning in to Week 8 of the Texas high school football season. And there's a chill in the air, and the games are getting bigger and more important. District play is in full swing. There's basically no non-district games left across the state of Texas, so each one of these games matter. Remember, a month from now, we'll be in the playoffs. Think about that. We are coming down the stretch, and these games matter more than ever. There are massive games everywhere you look. We start in Galveston County. 7:30 p.m. Friday night at Bulldog Stadium in Hitchcock. It is a top 5 matchup in 3A Division I as the unbeaten Columbus Cardinals visit the unbeaten Hitchcock Bulldogs. What are the keys to this matchup? Key number 1, the Bulldogs showstoppers. The skill talent for this Hitchcock team is absurd. At the 3A level, it's borderline unfair. The playmakers they've got on this squad are elite, plain and simple. Quarterback Lloyd Jones III, whether it's wide receiver Damian McDaniel, Bryce Dorsey, Kelshawn Johnson, this team is loaded with playmakers. They have got home run threats everywhere you look offensively, and they do just that. Hit a ton of home runs, break a lot of big plays, because they are one of the fastest teams in all of Texas high school football. Now, the Columbus defense has been very good, led by linebacker John Schobel, but this is different gravy. This is a very different test for this Columbus defense. They need to keep a cap on this Hitchcock team. So, will the playmakers for Hitchcock stand tall, or will Columbus keep a cap on them? Key number 2, Columbus's trench play. So a lot of the attention for Columbus is paid to the Baylor commit, Adam Schobel at quarterback, and he's been fantastic. Or running back Tyvone Whitehead, who's been really strong as well. They've got playmakers themselves that are really fun to watch. But I think the real advantage for Columbus and what makes them so difficult to beat is up front. Guys like Jaden Trapp and Dagan Stevens, they are really good in the offensive and defensive lines. Their trench play is spectacular, and that is a big advantage for Columbus in this game against a Hitchcock team that relies more on speed than it does beef up front. So, can Columbus lean on Hitchcock enough to make that trench advantage stand up? And key number 3, the rematch. Do you remember how this game went last year? Hitchcock went on the road to Columbus, who was ranked 2nd at the time and unbeaten, and they knocked off the Cardinals on a dramatic last-second 4th down play when Lloyd Jones III hit Damian McDaniel in one of the most unforgettable plays in the Texas high school football season in 2022. It was a signature win for Hitchcock. It was one of the biggest wins in program history, and for Columbus, it was a gut punch, plain and simple. Now, Columbus has an opportunity to return the favor, and Hitchcock has an opportunity to prove that last year was no fluke. That's the new way of doing business. These are two teams with a history, albeit brief, and they are meeting each other when they're both undefeated, both state-ranked, both with legit state title aspirations. So, knowing what we know about how last year ended, how does that play into this year's game? Who am I picking? I'm going with Columbus. I think the Cardinals return the favor that Hitchcock paid them last year by going on the road and getting a big win over Hitchcock. I think that Columbus is one of the most complete teams in Texas high school football. The offense, fantastic. Adam Schobel, Tyvone Whitehead, the offensive line. The defense, very strong. That defensive front and a sturdy linebacker in John Schobel. And their special teams is very sound as well. Now, make no mistake. Hitchcock is the faster team in this game. Hitchcock is the more explosive team in this game. Hitchcock has got playmakers that are going to set the world on fire, and this has an opportunity to be really fun. But in the end, I think that the Columbus defense is the difference. I think they're able to come up with 1 or 2 extra plays to knock off Hitchcock. Give me the Cardinals. Let's go to the Alamo City, 7 o'clock Friday night at Hero Stadium in San Antonio. It's a matchup of unbeatens for what I think is the District 28 6A crown as San Antonio Johnson takes on San Antonio Reagan. It's a great week in San Antonio. You have no excuse to stay home. Go to one of these games, and I think this is the real headliner at Heroes on Friday night. Reagan off to a fantastic start, undefeated. Defense has not allowed a point in 3 games. That seems pretty good. And they've got this great offensive core, running back Cole Pryor, wide receiver Caleb Capuccio, and quarterback Brad Jackson off to a fantastic start. On the other side for Johnson, I think they've gone through the tougher schedule so far and come out clean on the other end. And I think a lot of that is their defense, which has been very good, and quarterback Ty Hawkins, one of our very favorite players here at Dave Campbell's Texas Football, a dual-threat dynamo who can do a little bit of everything, could take over this game. In the end, this is a coin flip type matchup. I like Reagan. I think they've got a little bit of a superior defense, so give me the Rattlers. Let's bounce up to the DFW Metroplex, 7 o'clock Friday night at Eagle Stadium in Argyle. It is a state-ranked matchup in 5A Division II as the Argyle Eagles welcome in the Frisco Emerson Mavericks. And if you want to talk about a difference in history and a potential changing of the guard, new school versus old school, like this is it, right? This is a huge disparity in pedigree. Argyle, multiple-time state champion. Coach Todd Rogers, one of the very best coaches in Texas. You know what they are. They're a standard bearer. Frisco Emerson is in their second varsity season. And yet, they are nouveau riche. They have been fantastic to start the year. Quarterback Michael Hawkins, the Allen transfer, has been absolutely terrific. Izzy Bills, their running back, is a lot of fun to watch as well. And their defense has forced 14 turnovers in 7 games. Watch that space. For Argyle, they got up to a slow start, 0-2 to start the year, but they've really ramped up. Defense has been absolutely fantastic with linebacker Bud Petter leading the way. And I think quarterback John Gailey has grown into the role, and they're starting to hum a little bit. Going to Eagle Stadium is never easy, but I think Frisco Emerson's got a little something special. And I think they've got an opportunity to really take command and say, hey, we are the new power in DFW. I think Emerson comes away with a win. And let's go up to the Panhandle, to Panhandle actually. 7 o'clock Friday night at Panther Stadium in Panhandle, Texas. It is a matchup of unbeatens as the Panhandle Panthers take on the Stratford Elks. It's one of 10 matchups of unbeatens across the state of Texas this week. And I think this one might be flying under the radar, but maybe my most anticipated quarterback matchup of the week. I mean, this game is awesome. I'm really excited to see these two quarterbacks go at it. Broxton Robinson, the sophomore for Panhandle, has been fantastic. Went for over 450 total yards and 8 touchdowns last week against Amarillo Highland Park. He has been absolutely fantastic. And Bryce Braden, the linebacker slash quarterback for Stratford, is one of the most fun players to watch in Texas. He is a load, and he is a true dual threat in the sense that he can throw and run, and also he'll hit you in the mouth on the defensive side. One of the most fun players in Texas. They're going to go head-to-head in this one. Stratford's got a big challenge going on the road to Panhandle, but I think they pass it. Give me the Elks. But those are far from the only big games in Week 8 of the Texas high school football season. Let's get to the lightning round. I like Mason over Johnson City. Give me Corpus Christi, Calallen just barely over Alice. And I told you it was a great week in San Antonio. I like Alamo Heights over Harlandale. I like Tidehaven over Wallace Brazos. Keep an eye on Dawson. I think they get a win over Hico. And give me Edna over Vanderbilt Industrial. I like Granger over Bremond. Give me Monahans over Fort Stockton in a matchup of unbeatens. And give me Aledo to keep that district winning streak rolling with a win over Burleson Centennial. I like Troop over ARP. Give me Clyde to stay hot with a win over Jim Ned, and it's one of the great rivalries in Texas high school football. I like Midland Legacy over Odessa Permian. Sneaky game in the Valley. I like Sharyland Pioneer over Roma. Give me China Spring over Waco La Vega, and Midlothian Heritage keeps rolling with a win over Ennis. Bridgeland takes down Cy Ranch in that wild Cy Fair ISD district. Give me Hereford to get a win over Canyon, and I like McKinney North over Lufkin. Give me Edinburgh Vela over McAllen. I like Abilene over Lubbock Cooper. And are y'all seeing what Palestine Westwood is doing? I think they get a win over Cold Spring Oakhurst. Huge game in Austin. I like Austin Vandegrift over Round Rock. Give me Fort Bend Hightower in a close one over Richmond George Ranch. And Abilene Wiley takes down Wichita Falls Rider. I like Austin Westlake over Dripping Springs. Give me San Antonio Wagner over Bernie Champion. And another huge game in the Little Southwest Conference. I like Wolfforth Friendship over Midland. I like Van Alstyne over Farmersville. Another state-ranked matchup of unbeatens. I like Winsboro over Pottsboro. And way out west in El Paso, I like El Paso Pebble Hills over Montwood. No love lost between McKinney and Allen. I think the Lions get the win. No love lost between Tomball Memorial and Tomball. I think the Wildcats get the win. And I'm riding the hot hand. I think Needville takes down El Campo. Out east, I like Van over Center. And up north, I like Holiday over Henrietta. Pearland beats Pearland Dawson in a rivalry matchup. And in our 6-man game of the week, I like Klondike over Loop. And those are the picks. What am I wrong about? Which games did I leave out? Leave comments down below. Don't forget that subscribe button. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And, of course, see us at texasfootball.com. Thanks for watching. Enjoy Week 8 of the Texas high school football season. We'll see you.